Three guys sitting in a dark room that smells like bad cucumbers.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Inconceivable!
Now featuring 11 listeners.
This is the Unique Geek.
You slimy scumbag, get on your face and give me 25.
This is the Unique Geek.
And welcome to another edition of 50 Days of Dragon Con, the podcast that makes you cry more than cutting open 1,000 onions. And joining me today from a remote location undisclosed, hiding from the government, Lee.
Hi. Yes, I
Hello.
am. I am totally in hiding right now. Hi, guys. Sorry you're seeing the kind of messy room I'm in, but it's wonderful to see everybody, or you to see me. Hi.
Yeah, it's wonderful for us to see you.
There you go. I'm sorry. But
Modest
John.
much.
Yes.
Yes. Lee.
Yes, we're now.
Kung Pao Kirby wants to know why we're always playing these while they're working.
Well, then he needs to change his work time.
Yes, what, Lee?
Okay, there are guests, new guests.
There
So
are?
we got Eddie McClintock, yes. And so there are two for extract. There's
That
Eddie
you're no longer the
McClintock.
director of.
Yep, that's right. And
So you're going to get all the guests now. The entire
Whee!
cast,
Yeah.
all the way down to the one scene actors from X-Files have just been announced.
Yeah.
Every lost actor
no.
just announced.
I am very, very worried that all of a sudden somebody has said to David Duchovny, hey, that crazy lady that had a little bit of a, you were in her top 5. Well,
She's no longer there.
She's no
Good
longer
news.
doing anything, so it's okay for you to come now, which would be sad. But Lisa Shackelford, who's an author and that. But the really fun ones is, wow, the Flash guest. We got Tom Cavanaugh. I'm going through them right here. Tom Cavanaugh, Danielle Nicolette, Danielle Panabaker, and David Ramsey. So four from the Flash.
Count them. 4.
4. But John, as you said, I'm not the extract director anymore. So, it's
You get
been
to see those things.
it's been a really, yes, we know they, on social media, they have announced Michael Shanks and Lexa Doig. I don't know. I'm so sorry, ma'am. I have just probably done a terrible thing on them.
Yeah,
But
Chris pointed out that they announced Michael Shanks, yeah.
yes, but the good news is that this will be my first time actually attending Dragon Con in 25 plus years. Not being a director, not being a volunteer, but actually I don't even know how to get around. I don't know what's at the Westin. I know what's at the Sheraton, and I know how to get from the Sheraton to the Hilton to the Marriott to the Hyatt, which you still don't know. So John, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to actually
How anybody that's new to Dragon Con can figure out how to get around?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Why is
I'm
it so
not
difficult?
sure.
I mean, maybe Dragon Con and some fans and stuff might start something that would help people.
You
I don't
think?
know.
Do you think?
I maybe. Oh, hey Lee, someone's at the door. I should just have a. Anyone hear that? Whoop. Kevin's here.
They're coming to get John, not me, because I'm in a secret
I
undisclosed
don't know. I
location.
pressed the wrong button.
Yeah,
Press the wrong button, dude. I pressed the
I
wrong
better get
button.
inside that door. They're looking for me.
Oh, and Kevin, I just realized what you have. You have Winona Earth behind you. Very cool. Those are really pretty.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
like those. So Kevin,
Yes.
I don't know how to get around Dragon Con and what's where, other than I know where Extract is, at least right now, is in the Sheraton. So what do you do at Dragon Con to help some doofus like me? You can't help John. He will never, ever figure out anything but the Marriott's in the middle. So how do we do this, Kevin?
That's a start, right?
That's a start. Yeah.
Yep. Got to start somewhere. Lots of info. to learn. That's what's the great thing about con.
First
There's so much of it.
But before getting into that, tell everyone who you are. Since we're just getting into it as though everyone knows who you are. Which, okay, sure, everyone knows who you are. Why not?
It's the family, right? Yes. My name is Kevin Batchelder. I'm one of the folks involved in helping to manage the DragonCon newbie Facebook group and activities that go on at con now. So we have a wonderful group of people that are available to assist with questions for newbies, as well as some events that the con is very gracious, since we're not an official part of con, the newbie group, but they do provide us with time on the schedule to do, just like you were alluding to, Lee, some walking tours on Thursday, as well as a couple of Q&A panels where folks can come and ask any questions, get feedback from crew of folks who are helping to manage the events, but also from fellow con goers. As we all know, it's the family aspect of this convention that really makes it what it is.
It is. I do love coming to our Greek family geek family reunion. Blah, blah, blah. I've screwed up a name. I can't get geek out. Whatever. Okay. But Kevin, I think one of the things, John, wow, that is a really big microphone. What a big microphone.
Let's not use that shot again. Go ahead. Sorry.
I don't think so.
Those of you listening, just imagine someone just coming right up next to you about 3 centimeters from your face and looking at you. That's what just happened.
That's
anyway,
what a big microphone you have. So Kevin, one of the things that, as you said, you're not an official part of con, but you do things on Thursday and Friday, at least currently right now. One of the things I always hear is I just don't even know how to start looking at con. I don't even know how to look at all of this stuff and everything there is to do. So how does your group, I mean, are there places they can go even before con to get some questions answered?
Sure. What actually happened real quick for the case of folks understanding, I've been coming to con since 2005 myself. And I'm a fellow podcaster, so I'm always talking up the convention on podcasts. And in 2011, I just realized that I'm getting the same type of questions from friends every year. And I'm like, I'm going to create a Facebook group just so I can put my friends in it. So that way, when someone asks a question, I don't have to answer it 7 times. Because I knew there would be repeat ones. So I just started the group then with a few folks. And then each year, it's just been building as folks find out about it, since it's newbie focused. Just search for DragonCon newbies and you should be able to find it, because like I say, we're now 11 years in on the group. We've got more than 5,700 members.
Wow.
There's directors, staff people, fellow con goers who've gone for many years, and obviously a ton of people. This is their first year and they're just joined. And like you said, they don't know where to go first. So we just make it very newbie friendly. Repeat questions are not a problem. The simple questions are not a problem. We're all there to hopefully give you some suggestions, maybe some insights from experience. I mean, we're not an official part of con, so we don't speak for con, but we will maybe point you in a direction of another Facebook group that has some great info or a resource. And yes, it's lots of the questions, what can I see? Where is the con held? What time does it close? Understanding the difference between
that
a hotel-based
question,
event.
isn't it?
It is, yep. If they've been to the convention center-based one. So, like I said, myself, Kim McGibbony, Sue Kissenweather, Michael Faulkner, the 4 of us have been managing it for many years.
Hi, Sue. I know Sue. Yay.
Yeah, and it's just something a few years ago, the con, after we had done this informally for many years, reached out and said, hey, we can give you some time on the program. And that's when we started doing walking tours on the Thursday afternoon.
Well, and I want to tell people, so nobody asks, no, John, no, stop. I know what you're going to ask. When the app comes out approximately 2 weeks before con, you can look on the app and it'll show things on Thursday and Friday. And if you search newbies, they pop up. It's awesome. Yes, John.
Okay, so actually Sarah Rose had a question, which is, I got a friend coming for the first time in several years and want to try and get him to participate in the tour. What places do you cover? Great question, Sarah. Thanks.
Yeah. No, that's
and Jerry wants to point out that I gave him flashbacks to his last doctor's visit. Okay.
Kim and Sue have done a fantastic job there with a bunch of amazing volunteers who work as tour guides for us. Now, keep in mind, with the as much space that is covered by DragonCon with the hotels and all, we can't do walking tour that's going to cover everything. Also, it's going to take too long to do a lot of that. So we're going to point out on the tours general directions, like you were saying earlier, understanding maybe the concept of this direction is the Sheraton, that direction is the Hyatt, Weston's over here, America's Mart, give you an idea where they are, maybe take a walk towards the food court area to understand where there's some options for food and such, take some questions as they go. So it's not a comprehensive tour in the sense that we're going to cover everything, but if you want to get some bearings, which oftentimes for a lot of folks is really what you need, it's that whole spin me around and point me in the right direction thing. It's a great way to kind of do it. And also the great thing that's come out of doing these tours the last few years, if folks will come into our room, we'll have hundreds of people show up for the tours. And, we can only send out a few at a time, but that gives us a chance while folks are waiting in the room to do Q&As for newbies to find other newbies, to make a friend like DragonCon is, world renowned for. So it's a great way to build a little community right off the bat and get a chance to interact with some folks and learn a little more. So it's a moving target, as you folks know. The time on Thursday that we used to do the tours, we've had to keep moving it up as con has been starting earlier. Many people would love for us to do tours on Friday and Saturday. That might be one of the most popular questions we get after the fact, but things are just way too crowded and busy to do that. So the tours are only done at the very, very beginning. Normally, I think our time window has been around 12 to 4 on Thursday.
Nice.
This year, I don't have things confirmed yet. So as always, check back for more details. But yeah, because the folks, it's getting so busy, it's hard to be able to do the tour and do them in small groups so folks can hear the tour guides and all.
Yeah. Well, it is interesting. A lot of this started out because it used to be in the old days, when we had to walk up and down 12 flights to just even get to the con suite, which we never did.
There was not a con suite. There still isn't a con suite.
There
the
is a con suite.
Is a lie.
And I have taken you there too many times. I have given up. But when you have to do that, it used to be that you stood in line to get your badge, and it took a really, really long time. Now, there are still people who like to get in line early to have that lovely line experience. But I don't care if it's 8 a.m. in the morning any day. It's still hot. It's Atlanta. It's still hot. It's already probably muggy. But this is a great way to kind of let's make a new friend. What are you interested in? I can't tell you how many times when I've talked to somebody, I've been like, so wait, what fandom is that? Tell me about your costume or whatever. And they're like, oh, and I found new fandoms. I just kind of collect fandoms. I love it. So I love that this is a great thing. This newbies to newbies, newbies to kind of newbies. There is a place for all of the newbies. And even though we're going to give you a little bit of heck, well, I am. I don't know. Kevin's not. They're very all night. Kevin and Sue and Holly and everybody else, they're wonderful. But I'm going to give you a little heck because why haven't you been here before? I don't care that you're 12. Why haven't you been here before? So, Kevin, what else? When you go on the tour, what are the kind of questions you often get? You already talked about the food courts. There's a hidden food court for Thursday and Friday and, Wednesday if you're there pre-con. But what other are what are the big hints you tell people?
Well, a lot of the things come down to, like we said earlier, some folks have some experience at the convention center based cons. So understanding the difference of a hotel based one in terms of the 24-hour a day nature of it.
Yep.
The fact that, as you pointed out, Lee, there's going to be a ton of walking. And the Atlanta humidity at the end of August, a lot of people in different places of the country, the world, are not used to that. So the reality of making sure you've got some comfortable shoes, that you stay very hydrated. I mean, many of us who are experienced con goers can tell you the stories of folks come, Sunday or whatever that you can see are just physically beyond their means.
Especially if you're having some adult beverages.
Yeah, you got to pace yourself. Man, you have to pace yourself.
Drink more water.
And one of the things is people will say, well, it's so expensive to buy water. You don't have to buy water. At the con, there's stations all over. All you need is a water bottle, and you can fill it up just like I did. This has ice and the peach tea, Crystal Light thing, and it's awesome. So, yay, you can do that. It's a lot better. So, yeah.
It is much better just to realize that when you're coming in. And also to set expectations. Again, many folks, if they've been to other cons or heard from friends that are, there's sometimes only one or two, maybe three things going on at the same time to pick from. But as we know at Dragon Con, with almost 40 programming tracks, you know, you got 30 things to pick from. It's like a kid on Christmas morning. There's too much good stuff. So teaching folks how to kind of realize you can't do it all, you know, kind of find some things. Like you said, Lee, the great thing is people can't sit in these rooms. They get cleared out after each session, as you well know. So that way, you know, the people in a room when you get there, whether it's for a panel with a celebrity or whether it's a fan discussion panel, the folks who are there are just like you in that they're huge fans of that topic, whatever it might be. So you can easily strike up a conversation. It's not like someone's been sitting there for 6 hours just to get to the good panel at 5 o'clock.
Right.
Like might happen at the West Coast Con. But
that small West Coast Con or that upper, you know, Yankee Con. One of the things I'll never forget, and I love this story, and I've seen it not only with Warehouse 13. The first year they were here, that had just come out. And so they had just been to that West Coast Con, and they came and I said, yeah, we got like this many people out there. It's going to be great. And like they snuck out and they looked around the thing and they said, no, all these people aren't here for us. And I went, no, we clean out the room. All those people are here for Warehouse 13. And they honestly didn't believe it until they came out and saw those people like standing up and asking questions. And it's just wonderful. And I just think that's the great thing about this con. Again, it's by the fans, for the fans, with the fans. And that's very different than a lot of cons, as you were saying, Kevin.
yeah, and that's why I say there are so many jewels in the schedule that you might find something you're a big fan of 5-10 years ago that would never be covered in the more corporate type cons. But Dragon Con's got an entire programming track on it.
Right.
And there's all kinds of meetups and other things going. And as wonderful as the schedule is, we also try to remind folks, only use it as a guide. Okay. Don't get too hardwired to it, because as we know, there'll be daily changes. The Daily Dragon newsletter will let you know room changes or events are canceled. So it's only a guide to what's going on. And sometimes some of the best panels I've ever been to were ones I just stumbled into. I didn't even plan to be there, but I noticed a line or I heard some people talking about it in the lobby while I was, you know, hanging out. Or certainly as you look at your schedule and it gets to be later in the con, you know, Sunday, Monday especially, if you're tired, you don't want to walk to something 3 hotels away. Well, let's look at what's happening right now, right here, and see what's going on.
Right here.
You know, and that's the best way to do it. So it's that flexibility to let you get so much out of the con. I mean, it's just an amazing thing. And the other thing too, that folks don't mention much, but I think it's important. It's no disrespect to any other con, large or small. The great thing about Dragon Con, having seen it now for going on 17 years or so, is the whole community is here to support each other. Many of us who've been to the con a few times, we see the look in your eyes. We can tell that you have no idea what's going on or where you're going, but ask someone. I mean, there's a wonderful team of volunteers. You often talk about it, Lee. We're going to have those of us that will have a special colored lanyard to know that can answer questions, but so can your fellow con goers. We want to see you get the most out of con. The reason I got involved, and most of the other people who are involved in the newbie group, is because we remember our first couple of years, how hard it was to figure things out, but also how helpful the community was. There were so many people that first year I came, I still remember it. I never knew their name, but they were willing to answer a question, or they could tell just from the look on my face. You kind of look like you don't know where you're going. Yep. What are you looking for? So it's that wonderful community. That's why so many of us keep coming back, as wonderful as the celebrity guests are. We're there for our friends to see what's going on, what's happening, what new things everybody's getting into. So, you know, keep an open mind, and man, this can be just one of the most amazing experiences of your life.
It's a lot of fun. And I think it's just kind of amazing how you find fan. You'll find somebody that you want to talk to. And as you said, I mean, we've had Zan say, you know, in every panel time, I put 5 things down. Thanks, Zan, because you don't know. You never know. If you go to a main panel and it's full, you know, you aren't going to be able to get in. So there's that. If you, like, as you said, I just cannot walk anymore. If I have to leave this air conditioning, I will just be a puddle on the ground in Atlanta. You do all of that too. So it's always a lot of fun. It's always great. And as somebody else, I think that was Daniel, said, in our chat room is, plan to do 10% of what you're hoping to do. That's not a bad thing. It's because 90% you found something new. Mm-hmm. I still, and I will also say, I know people are listening to this as a podcast. You don't get to see John's face. But if you do see John and he looks very, very confused, please tell him which hotel he is in, because that is one of the things he will need help with. He gets a little lost.
So, Jerry, let me do this. So Jerry put in the wrong this one. Where are we going here?
You're going right below.
Yeah, there we go. If you get lost, trying to walk around the convention, just pick one person, follow them. If they're not the same gender as you, don't use this rule when going into bathrooms.
That's
also suggested a more legitimate thing to do. He always leaves open block in his schedule for, it says chili time. I'm assuming means chill time, but maybe it means chili. I don't know if needed. But typically time to explore the con. But it's typically time to explore the con. I always find new things, and I wouldn't have known I was going to enjoy until finding it. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Yeah, I think I've told the story many a time. I'm not a Doctor Who fan by any stretch of the imagination, but there was.
You sure?
Yeah, I know, right? But somehow there was a Monday morning panel that was scheduled that had one of the Doctor Who guests, and I can't even remember who now at this point. Not really relevant, but I was like, meh, there's no line because it's Monday morning. There's no line, so let me go in. And so I went in, and the room was only half full, surprisingly. And I had a great time watching this. I had no idea what they were talking about, but it was a fun time just, listening to the guests speak and the fans obviously interact with them. So it was something that, I would not normally go into, but did that time.
Yeah.
Speaking of fans, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, just to follow up on Jerry's mention, and it's very true, because we certainly see it with the newbies, is that because con events are, the time blocks are an hour, 30 minutes off for getting around in an event, and that starts in the morning and runs till midnight or more. Again, the kid in the candy store, the kid on Christmas morning idea, realize that you have to set aside some time for yourself. Eat, folks. Schedule time to eat, please. The instinct's going to be, I got to do it all. And hey, if you're experienced enough and you can bring snacks and you can make it work, great. But you've got to take care of yourself. Like I say, this is going on, 5 days of amazing stuff. You're going to need to pace yourself, whatever age you're at. That's fine. If you can stay up all night or whatever. But if you don't make time for yourself, both to catch your breath, to get some food, water, so forth, you're going to burn out come Saturday and miss some great stuff. So take that time.
Yeah, this is a marathon, not a sprint, folks. And one of the other things is, and I'll say this a lot, they'll do this. Somebody just brought it up. I didn't see who. I think it's Sharon. Sleep. You need to sleep. You need to eat at least 2 decent, what I would call meals with a little bit of well-roundedness, which is not a pack of corn nuts.
When are we going to do the 6-2-1 rule? You want to do that one?
The 6-2-1. I always say 6 hours of sleep, 2 meals a day, and 1 shower, buddy. 1 shower.
Every 24-hour period, and it's a real shower, folks.
It's a real shower, not just standing out.
Get away with a baby shower or a bridal shower, or
a real shower.
Change that number of hours of sleep to suit you. If you're younger, you can go with less, but just make sure you are getting the rest or sleep that you need. Because again, it's the marathon, and we want to see you come back like the rest of us every year because of that fun. So, it's just so much great stuff. It can definitely be overload. One of the most popular questions we'll see in the newbie group ahead of time, or even at our Q&As, is when folks say, okay, my first time at Dragon Con, I want to do it right. Tell me the 5 must-see events.
Okay.
And we're like, okay, well, there are several hundred events. And my top 5 might be radically different than Lee's, which are different than John's, which are different than Mary's. Everybody likes something different. Do you want to see celebrities? Do you want to go to a party? Do you want to be interactive and look in a telescope? Do you just want to sit there and debate the Doctor Who seasons? What are the top 5 for you are radically different than for me. So don't take that as a diss if I can't give you the 5. I'll tell you Kevin's whatever. but they might be very different from yours. So you gotta immerse a little bit and find those little mini communities, because those folks, if you're the big fan of Doctor Who, they'll tell you the top 5 there. But if I'm talking Winona Earp or something else, they might be different if you're into, urban fantasy or whatever it might be. Because this is like 37 different cons all going on at the same time in the same location.
Well, not just 37 different cons. It's also a gaming con. It's also a costuming con. It is also, everything. And I think that's kind of amazing too, because I think one of the things that you just have to remember is there's something going on. And the great thing is a lot of, if you're like, oh, I really wanted to get in this panel and I didn't. 2 things. Number one, if it's a really big panel, it might be on Dragon Con TV. Also, if you buy the streaming membership, they hold those things up for a year. So you can watch panels that you weren't able to get to. We'll talk to Regina, who is the Senior Director of Programming at the end.
Or Rihanna. Rihanna's coming to Dragon Con?
I said...
Is she coming with The Rock?
She's with The Rock.
It's like everybody. Yes, Regina's there, and she's like, that streaming membership, I get to see panels because I never see a panel all the way through. And that's her kind of downtime. So.
A couple of questions coming in from the audience. In comments, actually. One, Daniel was talking about in the app, they can add custom events, and their wife makes them take out time for dinner each night in the schedule. So that's good. And Sharon says that they do the same thing. A real meal at the restaurant. The Irish place is great. There you go. Yep. Question. Is there any con-specific lingo you tell newbies? I had no idea what apple pie meant for years.
Okay, Kevin, what is? Yeah.
Yeah, apple pie is a Dragon Con legendary term for a certain alcoholic drink that can, for some folks, they say tastes like apple pie, but it is alcoholic normally in nature. But a lot of different people make their own version of it. So one of the big things certainly you will hear, and many of you know when you go out in public, is don't take a drink from someone you don't know.
No.
Naturally. Apple pie in the right location with friends might be okay. But again, just realize if someone's offering it to you, that is kind of a con tradition. So just, be smart. But that is what apple pie normally is there. So that's a lingo term. Another term you will hear a lot of the Dragon Con people say is in looking at the way to get between the hotels. Let me kind of flip this and ask you, Lee. If you need to get between a couple of the hotels, there are indoor walkways.
Yep.
What do you refer to them as?
Habit trails.
There you go. When someone says, "Oh, I'm going from the Marriott to the Hyatt," and someone will say, "Oh, definitely take the Hyatt. Take the Habit Trail. You'll stay indoors. It'll go faster." And people are like, "Habit Trail?" It's an indoor skyway or walkway, folks. But con goers will refer to it as the Habit Trail.
Because we're all like little gerbils.
We're all just like little gerbils running back and forth. And also that's a great thing to know is that there are indoor walkways between the Hyatt, the Marriott, the Hilton. There's also one that moves over to the food court area and such. So there are ways to stay indoors a little more in the muggy weather, but it's always the trade-off because folks will say, well, is that what I should use when moving between hotels? I say, it depends. How much time do you need to get there? Because it's probably going to be more crowded. Going out onto the street to walk between the hotels will probably get you there faster, but you're probably going to sweat.
Well, yeah, because that's the thing too, is that it's like, how much time do you have? You've got to think about that. If you're trying to get from the Sheraton to the Hyatt, there are a couple different ways to go. One of them is outside up a really, really big hill. That might be your fastest way to go, and you're really worried about being there on time. That might be your time-wise way to go. But boy, oh boy, you're going to be a little tired. Unless you are somebody who likes to do those marathons and walk up hills and all that kind of stuff like John.
Yeah, that's where the indoor walkways are staggered enough. So even though, like Lee's saying, if you're going from Sheraton or Hilton, especially up towards the Hyatt or the Westin, that is a big uphill jaunt. Doing it inside by the walkways, you barely notice it because each one is moving up just a little bit. But if you're out on the streets, you're going to notice it. So that's harder to do uphill than it is if you're going downhill. That's something you'll learn over time. But it just kind of depends how you're getting there, how much time you got. And you do want to explore if you can. Like someone was saying earlier, if you got some time blocks in there, and maybe this will help you too, John, someday, is kind of walk some of those walkways between the hotels to go, okay, I'm in the Hyatt. Oh, look, the next hotel next to me is the Marriott. Oh, look, the next one is the Hilton.
I'll remember it. I'll remember it until I walk outside and then go, where
am I?
What is this? Where am I again?
Well, what road am I? And see, the problem in Atlanta is everything's named Peachtree. So like there's Peachtree Street and Peachtree Place and Peachtree this. There's like 4 peach trees right around the con. So don't say, oh, I'm going to meet you on Peachtree, because that just doesn't work. You need to know some of this. Yeah.
Clayton had a great question, which is, will the walkway from the West into the America's Mart be open? I don't know that we know that yet. I think they've closed it before because of, well, people trying to get into the vendors area, but that was, and also just the sheer number of people. But if numbers are lower, maybe, I don't know. We'll ask the next time we actually have someone on. I think that, because you don't know, do you, Kevin?
No, I don't. And that's an excellent point. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. So
yeah, and the America's
Mart
Mart
on time of the day too.
Yeah, it can't be. America's Mart in the past has not been 24/7.
Right.
They do shut down, so you never know. So, but we will do our best. We're going to be talking to people about gaming, and I will tell you also, we may not know yet. So plan appropriately to find out later.
Yeah, it's been a the last couple of times I was there. Sometimes it was open, sometimes it wasn't. It was just, but yeah. Again, we'll ask. All right, before we get into our game here, Kevin, you're not just a newbie coordinator. You do other things that people might want to be or might be interested in. Tell us a little bit about your activities outside of Dragon Con and the ones that you bring into Dragon Con. But, you know, remember, it's a family show.
Well, if you are at the con, folks, obviously I volunteer on the urban fantasy track. So I'll be speaking on several panels there and moderating some stuff. So by all means, fan of that, stop by, say hello. But I'm also a big, naturally doing all of this, a big fan of sci-fi and fantasy. I do several podcasts from the, photos behind me. I do a Winona Earp specific one. I do one called Tuning Into Sci-Fi TV. We cover all the genre shows. So I just love talking about this stuff with other passionate fans, and, been doing it for almost 20 years now. It's just a blast.
Well, that is wonderful. And Kevin, please make sure you send, and I know we have them somewhere, but please make sure you send us your podcast links. We will put them in the description of this show when it goes out on as an actual podcast instead of the live stream we're doing right now. And so that is great. We are signing up now, John. I am, woohoo. Yay.
So now is the time of the show when, yay, Carol. When we say yay, Carol from Jerry.
Yay, Carol.
Where we play a game with our guests and our folks that are listening or watching live, I guess. We're going to play Quiplash because not going to play that nightmare game the other day.
We can only play that with
again.
Like 4 people, maybe 5.
Yeah, that was for those that didn't hear it. It was on. It wound up being on our first show, right? First episode. Yeah,
it was. Yeah,
I think it was. We record things out of order, but anyway, if you want to join Quiplash, which is a much faster and much easier game to grasp, head on over to Jackbox TV and enter the room code BOBN, as in Bobbin.
Bobbin. But we also need audience members. If
we do need audience members, they're joining right now. Yes,
because you get to tell us things. You get to vote on us too.
Yeah. So just
if you don't want to play, you can always join the audience and just vote for your favorite yourself. Don't want to have the added pressure. And we got room for one more, and I need to turn the volume on, I suppose, for it. Otherwise,
yes, because I can't hear anything.
People are going to be like, "What? What?"
And do remember, folks, let's keep it just mostly clean. Innuendo is fine, but this is a family podcast, which is why sometimes I will be beeped out. That's about the only editing John does.
There we go.
And
all right, so we're going to go ahead and start the game. You can hear that, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I hope you're ready for Quiplash 3, Rotten to the Core. I'm Schmitty's stunt double, Schmatty. I promise you can't tell the difference. Oh yeah, hey, if you're not playing, you can still get in the audience and vote. Put in the room code to join. It's the prequel to round 2, round 1. You'll get 2 prompts on your device to answer any way you please. You'll go head-to-head with another player's response, and everyone else votes on their favorite. Sound easy? That's because it is. Points are scored based on the percentage of people who choose your response. Let's quip.
Okay, well, if you folks do that on your devices, I will bring the volume down on this a tad bit and tell you where to find us, which is The Unique Geek at TheUniqueGeek.com. But to be honest with you, if you're listening on the podcast, that's pretty much all that's there, except for pictures. There's some pictures associated with it, but it's just a place to hold the podcast. But you can, if you want to communicate with us, mostly Lee, and other Unique Geek folks, you can head over to Facebook group, which is just The Unique Geek. If you look that up, I believe it'll come right up. And also we have, our YouTube channel, The Unique Geek, and that's pretty much this thing that you're hearing right now. Good sales job, John. No problem. And if you want to leave a comment, email us at 50days at theuniquegeek.com. That's 50days at, that's a little symbol that looks like an A with a circle almost all the way around it, theuniquegeek.com. And you can also call us at 813-3210-TUG. 813-3210-884. We're almost at time here for these folks. Let's see. Getting there.
Oh, crap.
Well, someone
I
missed.
was typing. I just couldn't type fast enough.
Up to bat, we have...
All right. When
Have at 'em.
Dragon Con really begins? When John says it does, which is Wednesday, or last year. It's when does Dragon Con really begin? And we split the room. Either last year or Wednesday. So there you go, Lee. All settled. A fun name for Dragon Con elevators. Places to meet people, or we can squeeze one more person. A fun name for a Dragon Con elevator. Places to meet people, or we can squeeze one more person. Sarah, by the way, thinks it begins on Tuesday. Oh, we got a quiplash! Ricky. We can squeeze one more person. Is the name of a Dragon Con
See how they handle.
elevator. What is an unethical way to get into a panel?
What's your favorite?
Being unregistered snake, animagus, I can never pronounce that, and slither. Or disguise yourself as William Shatner. It's animagus and animagus.
I always thought it was animagus.
Animagus. Thank you. Oh, Simon wins a
Let's
quiplash for
say
disguise
Simon.
yourself as
And he
William
beat-
Shatner.
I got Zippo.
Next one up.
Deadpool mashup that we need right now. Guesting in a very special Golden Girls episode of Golden Girls, or Eddie Munson and the Deep. The Deep from the Boys, I assume.
See, I haven't seen the new season.
Mashup we need right now. As a Deadpool guest. Daniel wins with Eddie Munson and the Deep.
And next is...
When does Dragon Con end? When I can't hold my
favorite.
when I can't hold my head up, or officially on Monday, but the groups and Friday.
But the groups and friends ever
Oh,
forever.
and for but the groups and
Forever. Yeah. I'm sure that's what somebody meant.
yeah. By the way, it's really hard to type on these things. So, that was Lee. That's how she knew.
He's got to go again.
Officially Monday. Okay. But when I can't hold my head up wins when Dragon Con. You've lost to a Quiplash twice, haven't you, Lee?
Twice.
The reason Civil War broke out between the Dragon Con hotels. Only one hotel could have Cybertronic spree. Amen to that. I'm going to hope to see him this year. The Hyatt's rum punch is the reason why Civil War broke out between the Dragon Con hotels.
And find somebody to understand that, but House Sheraton forever.
Do we have a official hand symbol? It was split. Hyatt's room punch though wins with the audience extra vote.
All right, check this out.
Blank brings all the con-goers to the yard. Apple pie was the only answer. Brings all the con-yards to the all the con-goers to the yard. Excuse me.
Next on the docket. Okay, everybody, pick your favorite quip.
The weirdest thing to happen at midnight during Dragon Con: an actual werewolf playing the game, or natural drum circle. Weirdest thing. Now, I don't know if natural drum circle is just everyone naked in the drum circle. All natural drum circle. Is that what that is?
I'm asleep during
Could
drum
be.
circle.
Okay, let's not dwell on round one anymore. Let's see your scores.
I got Zippo.
Yeah, Lee, you got the snot. 0.
I got a question. John,
Ricky.
why'd you change me to the poop emoji? I wasn't the poop emoji.
Next
I did not change you to the poop emoji.
round two.
No control over that.
Out there, and the
Little
points
louder,
are
John.
doubled.
Oh, well, he was just telling you you've got some more stuff coming your way. Answer it. Points are doubled. Have a good day. All right, well, they do that. I'll catch up on some of these comments going on over here. Is there a map of the habit trails? Somebody, I think Zan said, yeah, there are many online maps available. I've seen one. Oh, we had one made a couple of years ago. Someone made an awesome one with the vendors. I'm not sure if they also made one with the habit trails, though. That's a good question. My problem with the habit trails is that I think it's on in one of them, the floor shifts where the actual habit trail is connected to, and that's where I always get thrown off. I think it's in the middle, right? It's the Marriott that it comes in on one floor but goes out
Yes,
on another.
on
one.
a different one. Yes, you have to change levels.
Yeah,
But again, remember that you're going uphill.
that is true as well.
If I'll go up,
Oh, I get it. Okay, I see. Gotcha. Now I'm putting it all together. I will immediately forget it after this podcast.
eventually, yes.
Sarah Rose does
Takes
want to
years.
point out that there is no rum in the rum punch, which is the rumor I have heard as well. I'm not going to besmirch those people, but the fine folks that are selling that for like what, $70 a bucket, something like that. That's not that much, people, but it's close.
All right, let's begin.
All right, here we go. Back to the game.
At the front of the line is
What caused a fuse to be blown at Dragon Con? A panel on steampunk, or Voltaire was rocking too hard? I've known him long enough that he's just been Voltaire to me that I can't pronounce his first name.
Thought it was Ariello.
Ariello, yes,
me.
Ariello. Oh, sure,
not
we'll go with
sure
that. Ariello Voltaire was rocking too hard. Yeah, there's a time when he only went with Voltaire. So. Panel on steampunk. Sorry, won that match. Won that question. Worst thing to ask a track director the day before con.
decisions. Choose your favorite.
Do you have room for 5 more guests, or Can we make a change to the schedule? Now, I guess it depends upon who's asking that can I make a change to the schedule and the reason why.
And it depends on which director you're at.
Yeah. It depends. David Duchovny just signed up. Sure. We can change our schedule. Let's see. The audience favored 5 more guests, but can we change the schedule? Wins the game. Wins the points. Whatever. What is the theme of the surprise rebranding of DragonCon? Spiders. Full of spiders. Interventions. 60 plus thousand people show up all for one big intervention. Spiders. Full of spiders. Or interventions. Huh?
Themed interventions.
Themed interventions, yes.
You will like Doctor Who, John.
Looks like... Ooh, audience favorite. Goes to spiders. It's split 50-50. Blank. Verb. The act of waiting hours in advance for a panel.
All right, people, it's voting time.
Fun. Verb. The act of waiting hours in advance for a panel, or schlumping. Schlumping. A verb. The act of waiting hours in advance for a panel.
And officially, you can only... Wait.
Have a good dinner, Sarah. And... Oh, schlumping wins!
Next.
Strange new addition to DragonCon TV.
Time to pick the one you like best.
Reverse Parade. Sorry, that one just caught me funny. Reverse Parade or Masterpiece Theater. The strange new addition to DragonCon TV this year is Reverse Parade and or Masterpiece Theater. Reverse Parade wins. Dole Whip Dave had that one.
Next up.
Best use of downtime at con. A nice
Time to vote for your favorite.
a nice nap on one of the hotel chairs? Or what's downtime? Best use of downtime at con? What's downtime? Or a nice nap at one of the hotel chairs. I don't know, a nice nap at one of the hotel chairs isn't bad either. What's downtime? Gets a quiplash. That's the Powell family.
Let's see the next one.
An ad slogan for Atlanta weather during con. Atlanta. Yes, Atlanta. Atlanta, where Dasani is made. Drink up. Cooler than mercury is another ad slogan for Atlanta weather during con. Atlanta, where Dasani is quote-unquote made. Drink up. Or cooler than mercury. Dasani is made in Atlanta, isn't it? It's just Atlanta tap water?
Yes.
Because it's a Coca-Cola product, right? Mm-hmm. Cooler than mercury wins. That was Chris.
That's a really good one, Chris. Even though mine was the other. That's a good one.
Who shows no mercy. They call her blank.
There.
Okay, I'll do this. There is a famous assassin who shows no mercy. They call her the Hyatt Stairwells or the mother-in-law.
The Hyatt stairwells. Yes, if you can extract your feet from them, show no mercy.
And
Quiplash! The Hyatt stairwells wins. That's Simon or $1 Mon. One or the other.
Goodbye, round 2, and hello, scores.
All right, here are the scores, folks.
Leah's still at the end.
For
with the poop emoji.
Riplash.
Oh, I missed it. I forgot. I was sitting there staring straight at it, and I didn't say anything.
You'll each get
Simon
How would
wins.
it? Okay, who was winning?
3 separate responses. Got all that?
Simon.
Good.
All right, you're gonna need to enter 3 responses for this one, folks. I'm sorry I missed who was winning. Did anybody catch who was winning?
Simon.
Simon. Okay. I was literally staring at it going, huh. Not taking in anything, forgetting I'm on the podcast. I know some of you wish I would forget I was on the podcast, but I literally just like, oh, let me watch this. What is everyone doing? Oh, that's cool. All right, 3 prompts. Let's see. Anybody say anything else in chat? Nope, nobody's saying anything else in chat. So we'll just edit this part out. For those listening at home. We never hear the part when I say for those listening at home.
Time's running out. Are you ready for magic?
Eh.
All right, here we go. The unsung heroes of DragonCon. The waitstaff, IT, the ants that eat the crumbs. Or
The fun part. Pick your favorite quip.
volunteers, deodorant, inflatable T-Rexes. The unsung heroes of DragonCon. You got your choices are the waitstaff, IT, and the ants that eat the crumbs, or volunteers, deodorant, and inflatable T-Rexes. Let's see. Volunteers, deodorant, and inflatable T-Rexes wins. 3 things that make DragonCon better than other cons.
Decisions. Choose your favorite.
The 3 options are, or the 2 options are, of these 3 lists: the attendees, the attendees, or fans, awesome volunteers, so many cults. More cults than on Netflix.
Go to the newbies. They'll explain the cult.
Chris wins the Quiplash with fans, awesome volunteers, and so many cults. Sorry, Kevin.
Tough crowd.
Tough crowd.
3 things to always remember. Always to remember.
Okay, choose your favorite.
Again, words. They go in certain order. The 3 things to always remember to bring to DragonCon: water, deodorant, the readiness to have fun, or patience, humor, Dr. Scholl's shoe inserts. 3 things to always remember to bring to DragonCon: water, deodorant, and the readiness to have fun, or patience, humor, and Dr. Scholl's shoes inserts. Patience, humor, and Dr. Scholl's inserts. There we go.
Ew.
Okay. 3 things that stick to your shoes at DragonCon:
Pick your favorite quip.
glitter, Ghostbuster slime, Red Bull or Mountain Dew. It's one list. Googly eyes, Hyatt stairs, Daily Dragon flyers. 3 things that stick to your shoes at DragonCon: googly eyes, Hyatt stairs, or the Daily Dragon flyers, or glitter, Ghostbuster slime, Red Bull, or Mountain Dew. By the way, all of those are true. In the newbies, if any newbies can go to the Ask Why Googly Eyes, and they'll explain it. Let's see. Glitter, Ghostbuster slime, Mountain Dew wins that round. And here we go.
Good job.
Final
Now
scores.
let's see what that did to the final scores.
I'll pay attention this time. Simon was in the lead with Dole Whip Day behind him, with Pal Family coming up in the rear end. Dole Whip Day pulls it out! Woohoo! Yay! You win our undying admiration.
Woohoo! We go Dole Whip Day.
Enjoy
Yay!
it. Don't waste it.
Kevin,
Oh.
remind everybody where they can find out about the newbies again.
Yes, our group, which we'd recommend you use up leading up to con. If you just go on Facebook and do a search for Dragon Con Newbies, you should be able to find us. And then when you're at con, just search the app for the word newbie, N-E-W-B-I-E. You should find our events. Look for them. Walking tours on Thursday and a Q&A probably on Thursday after that, and then a first thing Friday morning.
Newbie, newbie, newbie. I actually want a little song. Newbie, newbie, newbie. I don't know what I want though. So yeah, awesome.
All right. So, did we mention where people can find your podcast? Did we say that already or no? Or is this newbies?
Most of my podcasts you can find at tuningintosci-fi-tv.com.
There we go. Love the newbie groups. As a vet, always learning new things, Dave says. And Chris also congratulates Dave on saying, way to go, Dave. All right. So until next time, for Kevin and Lee, this is John saying peace. Kevin's group has maps, according to this thing. Not sure if it's true, but we're going out anyway. As soon as I find the fade out,
Bye-bye.
there we go.
Bye.
This was a production of The Unique Geek. Call our comment line at 813-321-0TUG. That's 813-321-0884. Email us at thegeeks@theuniquegeek.com or 50days@theuniquegeek.com. Follow The Unique Geek on Facebook and Twitter. This podcast is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share-alike license.
I'm leaving now. Gonna go.
I was about to say, I have got to go.